Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WFSO Wrestling Talk with yours truly, Archer Jones. I know we didn't do an episode earlier because I tried to get hold of the guy that was supposed to interview earlier and just hadn't responded. And we're running a little bit late because I had to set up and stuff, and the person we're interviewing today is gonna had a little bit things to do, so he was running a little bit late as well. So it's all good. So let's bring in Hunter Hendrix. I believe he is a wrestler, and but yeah, let's see how this goes. So should be a fun interview and should be interesting. So we just leave it at that. Oh, getting this camera set up.
Yeah, here we go. 1 second. I guess. Is it being weird? Yeah, it's being weird as crap. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, you can hear me perfectly fine?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, sorry about the little delay. With phone calls and stuff like that. So
I hear you, brother. I hear that same thing for me, man. Like literally, I woke up just at the right time because I seen your message and I was like, oh my God, I need to go get a shower right quick. And I was like, I'm not canceling. I'm not a canceling guy. I don't like to reschedule stuff at all. So I was like, let me get cleaned up and then let me set up and we'll do this thing right here, right now.
exactly. We can just go as long as we can. So for that, so whatever.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so anyways, explain to everybody who you are.
So I am the prodigy Hunter Hendrix. I have been wrestling currently. This will be my third year of fully wrestling, fully calendar year matches and stuff like that. I have been training since I was 13, 14 years old. So I've been around the game pretty much, I want to say 6, 7 years right now. I am currently 20. Like I said, this is my third year. I come from Pensacola, Florida. So I am based in the Florida area. I've wrestled in states like Mississippi, all over Alabama, Florida. I've even been up to Indiana/Michigan to wrestle. So it's been definitely a wild ride. And I am currently, for over a year, the XWX Extreme Champion. Stream as in streaming services, not extreme. People like to get that mixed up that I'm saying extreme. Like, no, no, I'm not no extreme guy. I'm not no hardcore guy. I'm not like those idiots that want to bleed and take these crazy bumps. No, I like my career, so if I'm gonna do it my way. But yes, I have held this title for over a year. I am a former Impact Pro Wrestling tag team champion, and I am a former Pro South Wrestling All Out champion.
Okay, that's good accomplishment so far. Um, but what got you into wrestling?
Honestly, I love explaining the story because it keeps me humble and it keeps me, back to my roots and everything. But when I was like 8 through 10 years old, my grandpa was flipping through the TV. This sounds like a cliche story. It's insane, but my grandfather was flipping through the TV channel, and I believe it was Friday Night SmackDown. That was the first show I watched ever. It was right around the prime area too. Like Undertaker was still there 24/7. You had like the old classic intro with Green Day. It was great, and it was just flipping through and I seen it and I got invested in it and I started watching it every week and then I bought my first WWE video game, which was SmackDown versus Raw 2010. I'm a
Yeah.
huge gamer on the side. I don't let nobody
Oh
know that,
yeah,
but I'm a huge gamer.
you're not
But
wrong with that.
oh, not at all. But I got SmackDown versus Raw 2010, and the first character I played as was Randy Orton, and I beat the crap out of John Cena. And then ever since then, I bought all the games. I started watching, WWE every weekly all the time, and then I realized there was something called the independent wrestling scene, and I started picking up on like ROH, New Japan, all of these, Defy Wrestling. That's one of my favorite ones right there. I started picking up on it, and honestly, watching it with my grandfather, showed me. I was like, you know what? If they're doing that, why can't I do that in the future? So I got in touch with like, well, I'm not gonna name the guy because the guy's a piece of crap, but he's not in the business no more. But I got in touch with a trainer and local guy, and I started training at 13. I mean, like, yeah, 13, 12, 13, 14, around those. And I was training every Sunday. We still train every Sunday. And I had a minor setback because I listened to someone I shouldn't have been listening to. And I was young at the time, and I was doing jumping over the ropes and stuff like that. And I actually crashed on my arm, and I went like that to catch myself. And I remember blacking out for like 10 seconds, and I look up, and my arm is like all twisted and stuff.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And I had to get it surgically repaired. That was when I was like 14, 15, so like roughly still in the training time.
Yeah.
And so I got that fixed. I had a minor setback. So I ref for 3 years, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be wearing the stripes anymore. I want to pursue what I got into this to do, and that's wrestle. That's getting in the ring. That's putting on a show. That's being me. And sure enough, I did, and I started working my butt off constantly. And so now, as you can see, this is where I'm at now. So definitely been a wild ride, and there's nothing in the world that I love more than this, other than my mother and my girlfriend at right now. But this is definitely what I want to do for the rest of my life if I can make it that happen, make it that possible.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. But what is was there like other fans you like wrestled for during your 3 years wrestling?
Say that one more time.
Oh, was there other fans like at the time with your 3 years there? Were you like wrestling with like other fans besides the one?
No, not really. So when I first started, I was only reffing. So I was only at one major, like one company, and that was my trainer's company. And then started reffing at other places. And then he started me out in the mask gimmick. Um, and he liked what I did for just craps and giggles. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a match every show now, and we're gonna see what happens. And sure enough, that same year, um a one of my greatest mentors passed away about a year and a half, 2 years ago, probably now. His name was Rob Shivers, and he was help booking a company called All Pro Wrestling in Pensacola, Florida. And he was like, hey, I need people. I see you work for JT Angel. And he was like, would you mind coming to wrestle for me? I was like, yeah. And something in me told me, I was like, I don't want to wear the mask here. I want to try something else. And I want to, be myself. And first thing he said, I was like, so is that possible? And he was like, try that, brother. And I'm like, heck yeah. I'm like, you're letting me do myself. And so, other than my trainer's show, IPW, there was no other shows that I was working, before I got into like 3 years. So now I've wrestled for, man, wow, I can't count them all on one hand right now. I have to like go over and over again. I think it's been about, I want to say about 20 promotions right now. I think maybe 22 at the most that I've wrestled for in my 3 years. So, yes, there's been a plenty of other companies that I've worked for, and I'm hoping to add more to that list for real this year. So,
Where you think trying to branch out in other areas, like where you think you want to go?
oh man, you see, one of my favorite wrestling scene areas right now is Louisiana, right there outside of Mississippi. And I would love to get into Louisiana because just there's a company called Pro Wrestling 225 down there in Louisiana, and that's one of the goals I want to get for this year. But honestly, if I had to go to any of the states, I would love to go to Indiana again. I loved Indiana to death. Def- Definitely different from up here from down here in the South Florida area. I went up the north, and it was just definitely a different environment. But everybody there was so nice, and the weather was nice, the food was nice, everything was nice up there. Um, but I think, let's see, Texas. Definitely want to wrestle in Tennessee because I drove right past Tennessee going to Indiana, Texas, Tennessee. I would love to wrestle in Louisville, Kentucky. I've seen that city and that state, and I just fell in love with it driving through it at night. I would definitely like to go down South Florida more, like Orlando, Tampa, Anywhere down south completely. Um, I definitely want to get into the northern areas, whether it's like Indiana, I said, Michigan, definitely. But like I'm saying, I want to branch out to different states, and the ones I named off are the set list for this year. Texas might not happen this year, but I can guarantee this year, Louisville might be on there for sure.
Okay, lots of places so far. That's
Yes,
cool.
sir. Yes, sir.
So, who were your inspirations like wrestling wise growing up?
Oh man, so I can say when I was a kid, I think my favorites were like Randy Orton, John Cena, CM Punk, all of the main guys. But as I've gotten older, I've I've got grown to love the older stuff, like 90s, 80s. So if I had to pick like top five, maybe, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Number one, I tell this to everybody. Number one is always will always be there is no switching or anything. It will always be Macho Man Randy Savage because
Okay.
I love his charisma. I strive for charisma like Macho Man, how he can just walk into a room, do something just like that, and just leave it all out in the ring. Two would be Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I love Mr. Perfect. I actually do a perfect plex. I've added that to my arsenal this year. But Mr. Perfect has always been one of my favorites because just he's perfect. When he walks down to the ring, his towel toss, his promos, everything he does is like oozes excellence, and that's what I strive for. I want to say third one. I want to say right now, it's I'm gonna put Randy Orton on there just because Randy Orton was one of the first characters that I got involved in, and I love his intensity. I love everything he does for the business, the way he gets himself psyched up into the mood to wrestle. That's exactly how I am. Like before I walk out to the curtains, I'm backstage. I'm yelling. I'm screaming. I'm getting in the zone because there's no other place you want to be, and you want to go out there and prove everything. So you got to get yourself in the zone for it. Four would probably I like personally Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels would be another one because what else is there to say about Shawn Michaels, man? I mean, he's
Yeah.
done a lot. He's done it all, and just everything he's done has helped this company, has helped the business. And fifth one, I want to say Bret Hart. Bret Hart. I love the technicality of his. I'm a technical wrestler. I love technical wrestling. I love real graphs. I love everything that involves wrestling. I love that. So Bret Hart will definitely top that list.
Yeah, that's an impressive list. So I can't
Thank you, sir.
explain about that one. So, were there like any matches that you done so far that you like it was the best match ever or best match
Man,
so far?
man, oh man, it's because I've been put in some uncomfortable situations, like not like not wanting to do it, but for being 2 years in or 3 years in at the time, I've been put in some like serious matches to see if I can go. And man, this is a tough one because I have so many. I'm
You can
selfish
name
when
a
it comes to
few if
my
you want.
heck yeah. I'm selfish when it comes to my matches because I like to sometimes I'll like randomly like if I'm in the mood or like if I'm like watching if I'm in the like time to do it I'll go back and watch some of my favorite matches. But let's see, I think right I'll give you like 3 to 5 of them that I've liked so far. So
You're fine.
number one will be against someone named Vladimir Koloff. This was in Mississippi for a Southeastern Showcase show for the Gulf Coast Wrestling. Um, he was actually on one of the podcasts I did last year. I was like, he is one of my top 10 opponents I wanted to face for the year. And me and him, we talked and on a personal basis, we created a connection. But I seen that I was wrestling him, and I was like, wow, this is something because he's one of, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers on the Gulf Coast. There's nobody like out of top 10 to 5 people, he's on that list simply because everything he does in the ring, the titles he's won, the amount of heart he puts into it. Vladimir Koloff will be always one of the best around the Gulf Coast. I'm on that list now too. No questions about it. But Vladimir was definitely one of my more heavy hitting matches. Like I went back and counted. He chopped me 17 times in one match, which
Ooh.
was insane. But I took it like a champ, and I didn't realize it until I was watching the match. I was like, I got chopped a lot, and it was the night before my birthday. And I was like, I got chopped a lot, and I counted them back, and I'm watching it with my girlfriend. I'm like, one, two, three. Then he does them in a row, and I'm like four, five, six, and then it was 17 times. Next match would be I wrestled this match for a promotion called Coastal Wrestling Federation based out of Milton, Florida. I wrestled someone by the name of Simon Phillips. Simon Phillips. Now you want to talk about a heavy hitting man? That gentleman right there. Oh my gosh, he. If you don't think, if some people think wrestling is fake, you put Simon Phillips in there, and he'll show you why it's real. Because his striking, his hitting, everything I felt for sure. He was the champion of that promotion at the time. And once again, he's one of the guys on the top list of Gulf Coast wrestlers that I think will make it because he wrestles a lot for Wildcat Wrestling right now. And that's a great platform. A bunch of legends come in there and he's shining all the way through. So he is one of my favorite opponents. Another one would be against someone I call my wrestling dad. He wrestled under the name of Project Brewington at the time, but now he is called Tommy Zero. And I remember wrestling him the first time. So believe it or not, we were talking about it, and he's my wrestling dad, so we have that bond, and we were talking, and he was like, you ever hit a Canadian destroyer? And I'm like, huh? He's like, you ever hit a Canadian destroyer? And I'm like, I beg your freaking pardon. I was like, no. And he was like, well, you're hitting one tonight. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, no, no, I'm not. I was joking, but I was like, all right. He was like, don't worry, it's all on me. I'll do the flip. You just do the flip forward. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, I was nervous. I told him, I was like, hey, can we, this is what you should always do. If you're in the business and you're not comfortable with doing something, speak out about it and talk to your opponent about it and talk to whoever you're talking to about it because 9 times out of 10, if you're not comfortable with it, there's no reason you should be doing it and they will work around that. And I was like, hey, so I've never practiced this move in my life. I'm more of a, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it live. Like if we can't get it right at training or before, you know what? We're gonna hit it live and see how it goes. And I was like, hey, can we kind of scratch that out, please? I was like, I'm not comfortable doing it, but I'll take everything else. He was like, all right, that's fine. But no, that um, they hold a special place to my heart because they were the ones that actually took me to Indiana with them, and introduced me to all their brothers and everything out there in Indiana, and I owe a lot of my career and success to Tommy Zero. So Tommy, Wrestling Dad, if you end up watching this and I send you the link, you better watch it. Um, Thank you. I love you so very much, and my success owes half of it to you, more than half of it to you. Let's see. I'll name one more. Let's see. Wow, this is actually a tough one because God, gosh darn it. Wow, this is insane. Oh, Jay Smiles. This was so the gimmick behind this show was it was a New Year's show. We held this show in Mississippi on a freaking Tuesday. We went up there on a Tuesday afternoon and wrestled because it was New Year's Eve, and we opened the doors and we had a New Year's Eve show. And it was a ton of fun. It was something definitely out of the ordinary that you would not see at any other promotion. But
Right.
we were like, we're gonna have the first title match of the new year at 12 a.m. on New Year's Day on the 1st of January. We're going to have this match. And I was told I was getting put in that match. And I was like, well, this is insane. And Jay Smiles, he's a little wild. He's out there a little bit, but he's definitely a close guy of mine. Um, his athleticism, his charisma is insane, and I believe he will also make it because you look at the guy and you just you see him and you're like that kid's got it. And I say that because we are the same age. He was actually younger than me when I met him at the time. He was 19 and I was 20, and I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I'm 19. I'm like, that's insane. But we went out there, we had the first match and the first title match of 2025 because I don't think personally, I might be biased or whatnot, but I don't think there was another promotion that was running on a Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, all the way into the New Year's, and actually had the wrestling match, the first wrestling match of 2025, and we went for like 20 minutes, and that was a heavy hitting match because he chopped me a couple times, and there was moments where he would randomly reach up and chop me, so I slapped the crap out of him back, and we just pretty much we beat the crap out of each other, and it was a real fun match, and I would always love to run it back with him. So I think I named four matches, so those are my
Yeah.
personal favorites out of four.
Okay, and that was an interesting take that that a show happens at midnight on New Year's Day. So that is something that I never heard of, but
Yes, sir.
heard a few like New Year's Eve shows, but never a show that runs at midnight on New Year's Day. So
Oh
that's
yeah, it went from New Year's Eve. We started at like 7. It started at New Year's Eve, and we only had like a few matches on the card. And we did like karaoke that night. We did a bunch of stuff that night to get the crowd involved, get everybody in a good mood. And we had a countdown on the video screen up there. And I remember just kissing my. So what happened was, as soon as midnight hit, they were like, as soon as midnight hit, announcer's going to be in the ring, and we're going to announce this thing right now. And I'm watching the countdown backstage, and as soon as midnight hit, I kissed my girlfriend. I told her I love her, and I'm like, all right, got to do the damn thing now. And
right.
it was wrestling at midnight. I'm tired as crap. I wrestled a match earlier that night. I wrestled in a 10 scramble cluster F. It was called the cluster F because it in fact was a cluster F. But I
Oh,
won that match, and it was definitely something. But I can say I wrestled at midnight, and it was a wild ride and it was a wild show. But it was the timing, doing everything. Like I'm talking, as soon as I kissed my girlfriend, they're already announcing it. They already got my music playing, and I'm like, oh my god, here we go. This is real. So it's definitely I would do it again. I would love to do that again.
yeah, that never happened here in Wisconsin, but hopefully one day it will. So only can hope for. But anyways, uh, so your girlfriend knows that you like into wrestling and stuff like that. As you can say that she's been to like shows and stuff.
Yes,
So
sir.
does she have any interest in wrestling herself?
I don't believe so. Like, I don't think she would ever want to get in the ring. She's very fragile, but I love her to death. She's very. I don't think. I feel like if she ever took a bump, she would, her body would break, and she would not want to do it ever again. But I love her to death. We've been dating. We've actually been dating for the equivalent time of my wrestling career has started. So we'll be going on 3 years this year in October, and my 3 years this year is in April, maybe May, so it's coming up very shortly.
Oh yeah,
Um,
a
but
month from now. Yeah.
yes, sir. But she may not want to get involved into it, but she has been with me through it all. She's traveled with me everywhere. She has stayed up late with me driving. She has stayed up late with me tearing down the ring and wrestling and everything. And the people in Mississippi, Vladimir and all of them, they have grown to love her herself, so love her themselves, so they actually love her more than they love me. There's a running joke going around that I don't feed my girlfriend. I want everyone to know this right now. I feed my girlfriend, all right, just because she doesn't choose to eat sometimes, and just because it's late sometimes, just because it's early, I feed my girlfriend. I can promise you I feed my girlfriend, but but it's just a running joke that I don't feed her. But they love her. I love her to death, and I could not be any blessed more to have someone like her by my side to especially support it, because you won't find a woman all the 9 times out of 10 that'll support what you do. They'll be like, "Oh, that's stupid. Oh, isn't it fake?" Or I don't think I'm. Yeah, I think it's funny you're wrestling in tights and stuff, but no, she always, whether she's at shows with me or not, she always watches them live, whether I'm out of town, and she always texts me how proud she is of me and how much she loves me. So I think I chose the right one. I think I have the right one locked in for this wrestling career, and there's nobody else I would rather have by my side.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What are your what is your dream match? Like who you want to
Oh,
face in what type of match, or if it's just a normal match or whatever the case may be, but who's that dream match you want to have and what type of match you want?
That's a tough one. That's another tough one. That's another good one. I believe you are the first person to ask me that question. Now people have asked me, what are your goals or what are your matches for this year that you would like to have? What are your opponents? But dream matches, I've never been asked that. So it's always I love these podcasts because it's always a new question that I get asked every time, and I love being able to build off of that. But let's see, right now. Man, this is tough because I could go the route, facing legends or whatnot, or I can go the route of facing not newer people but younger people that are not legends right now but are legends in the making. Um, I've been called from a person called the all ego Ethan Page of the Gulf Coast. I love that comparison. I didn't that is one of my favorite comparisons because I love Ethan Page. Ethan Page is also one of my inspirations right now. I love everything he does. But honestly, I think my dream match as of right now, it would either have to be just a normal exhibition bout, normal one on one. Would either have to be against MJF, Ethan Page, or let's leave it at that, or Seth Rollins maybe. But right now, it'd definitely be MJF or Ethan Page. One because I like to base myself off the aura of MJF, how he can just go out there, cut a promo, talk crap, to anything about everything. But
Yeah,
I also want to have the swag and the style of Ethan Page, just because you see him and you're like that guy's got it. And those would be my dream matches. I feel like those would be some heavy hitting matches, and I feel like if that could ever happen in my life, whether I make it or not, that would solidify myself, and that would make me feel really good. So those are my two dream matches right now.
yeah, that's impressive, like dream matches and stuff like that. So, I know you said earlier you had goals that you wanted to have like last year. So, are there any goals you want to have this year?
Oh, for sure, yes, sir. So my goal, like I said, is to get more states, get more promotions to wrestle for. But that also comes with I want more gold. I've got my first taste of gold very early in my career. I'm very blessed to say that. And then over the time, I've been blessed to have that share of gold, and it's kind of got me like an addict itching for it because I think I put in the work, I bust my butt off 24/7, whether it's in the ring or working on myself or going to shows and putting all out and helping us tear down the ring and stuff like that. So I feel like I deserve some more gold. So I think this year I'm going to be the Impact Pro Wrestling IPW. My trainers, I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of that show. I was already the heavyweight champion, but someone I called my brother that I grew up with decided to stab me in the back, and I don't know how this works, but he kicked me out of my own faction. I I I I can gladly say that was my faction because I put in all the work for that faction. I did everything for those people in that faction, and he wants to recruit new guys, and then he just out of nowhere stabs me in the back, cashes his trophy in on me after I just win the heavyweight title against a legend around the Gulf Coast, the Cali man. I went freaking 20 minutes, 25 minutes with the Cali man just for my brother to come out and stab me in the back and take what was mine. So he's got it coming to him. I will be, mark my word, I will be the IPW heavyweight champion before this year is over. But honestly, another title I've been eyeing is once again Jay Smiles' title. He's currently the Gulf Coast Wrestling Digi Strap champion, and that was the title that we wrestled for on New Year's. And I did not successfully win that title, but that title is beautiful. I believe that title would look good around my waist and on my shoulder and in my collection of belts. So Jace, I'm coming for that title again this year. I can assure you that. Um, I think I want the Pro South Wrestling All Out Championship back. I lost that to a heavy hitter named Brandon Watley. He kicked the crap out of me. I cannot lie. And he dropped me on my butt, but it's all about how you get up and fight back, and that's what I did. And I believe I brought a significance of prestige to that title because I was out there every Friday, busting my butt, proving why I deserve to be that champion. So maybe the Pro South Heavyweight Wrestling Championship as well. But definitely this year, I want more gold. I want so this past year, right before, so it made me upset because I had I tally my matches. I keep a track of my matches. Every match that I've done is in my phone in my notes. And I was counting it up, and before the new year ended, I was at 97. And I was like, nah, I was like, that is not okay. I did not meet 100 before the new year starts, so that made me upset. But I wrestled, I think, 56 to 60 matches this past year in 1 year. That's every weekend. And not every weekend. I had some weekends off, but that's the majority of every weekend. But this year I won. I think I'm at like I want to say 110, maybe 115 area maybe. But I my goal, it's going to be a hell of a goal, but my goal is to reach 200 matches this year. That's the
Ooh,
main goal. That is the main goal for me.
yeah, and the way it's going, I think you can do it.
I appreciate that. I truly hope so because I like to stay busy. I like to stay somewhere. I like to stay somewhere different every weekend. So I'm really hoping it happens this year, sir.
And I think it will. Um, 5 to 10 years from now, where you think you'll be at?
Of course, WWE. I think. No, I'm playing. But I definitely think 5 to 10 years from now. No, screw that. I want to be in WWE 5 to 10 years now. That's what I want to be. That's my goal. I said when I started wrestling, when I meet my 5 year mark of wrestling, or maybe 5 to 6, I want to be signed somewhere. That's my goal because I like I said, when I go out there, I leave it all in the ring. I work my butt off. Whether it's promos, whether it's wrestling, whether it's whatever it is, whether it's as soon as my music hits and I turn that switch and I make everyone fully invest in me for that whole night. I believe that if I really wanted it, I'm gonna get signed somewhere. Whether it's TNA, whether it's honestly that's honestly the main places I want to go is TNA and WWE. But I would not be upset if I was touring around the world wrestling at different major indie promotions. I would not be upset with that. But 5, 10 years from now, I want, and they got the new WWE ID prospect thing.
Yeah,
they're handing out them prospect contracts like it's nothing, and they even got their own show now, which starts Wednesday. Evolve.
yeah,
I actually know a guy on there. I didn't really talk to him, but I've seen him work live, and he was very familiar in the area of Panama City. Sean Legacy, if you know who that is, if you don't know who that is, he's a WWID prospect. Definitely check him out. He's going to be on Evolve for the WWID prospects, but definitely with the ID prospect contracts going around, there's no way I can't get signed. It's just all about working, putting in the work, and they even have their own platform on TV now on Tubi for Evolve. So
yeah,
that's in itself is amazing, and I feel like it opens up a lot of opportunities for people like myself to get signed. So 5 to 10 years from now, I expect myself to be wrestling for either NWA, TNA, WWE. Main goal of WWE is to have that contract, but I'm ready for it. 5 to 10 years from now.
okay. If you can choose which one you actually would go to.
Oh man, see that's something because I could go all out and say for the money I want WWE, but at the same time, if I have embraced myself, if I have put in the money, the work for myself and the character work, and I've really invested in who I am truly, I feel like I need to show who I am completely, and I would like some creative on that, like not full creative like storylines and stuff, but I want to be able to go out there and be myself and
Right.
get the people invested in me. And I think if I'm going to go the smarter route, if I had to choose, I think what I would do is either go to TNA or NWA first because NWA loves character work. I've watched a couple of their shows
Yeah.
live now, close to home, and excuse me, they have a bunch of characters that many different characters that have a bunch of different personality on um their show. So I feel like that if I went there and opened the door for myself and build my brand there or in TNA, because TNA is merging with WWE right now. They're working hand in
Yep.
hand
They're working
together,
together. Yep.
with NXT. So if I go here and build my brand here, then they want me, then I can jump over here. And if I go to TNA and I'm working on myself, I got WWE looking at me every week, and they're working with each other, so they can be like, "Hey, Hunter, we're gonna send you to NXT for the week." Hell yeah, all right, bet. But I think if I'm gonna go smart, I would go myself first. I would go to NWA first. But if the money's right and they want me to do something a little different, nah, that don't sound like me. I'm not gonna change myself for the money. I'm gonna do what I want to do myself.
Right, just to bet on yourself first. So yeah,
Yes,
that's a good
sir.
philosophy. And you know who else said that? Johnny Gargano.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And look at him now, tag team champion, NXT, three-time NXT champion, North American champion. That you know, he may not be in the biggest. He may not be in like the biggest part of his career in WWE, but he's still on TV every week. He's a tag team champion, so he still has that exposure.
Exactly. And only thing I hope is the best and to go further from that.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
let me see. Okay, like if would you girlfriend would be like a valet of yours or something like that? Would that be the case?
So I went somewhere to train with a buddy of mine once. That one, I think it was a Monday or Tuesday one time. It was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was still when we were fresh into dating, and she was just learning the business. So I had to tell the gentleman that I was training at. I had to tell him that because my buddy was like, yeah, he was like, just because you got to sign a waiver when you come here to train because he says, if you get hurt in his yard, he's not responsible for it. I was like, okay, that's fine. He was like, tell him that your girlfriend's training to be a valet. Just tell her she's training to be tell him she's training to be a valet, so it's not a problem. I'm like, okay. And she did he told her some stuff about being a valet and stuff, and I showed her about, and she's seeing all this stuff about valets, but I think she has too much anxiety, and I think she has either well I have anxiety too, that's not the case, but I think as her I don't think she would want to do it, but never say never. I may wake up tomorrow and she may wake up tomorrow and be like, hey, let me walk you out to the ring, or hey, let me take a bump. It's gonna shock the crap out of me, but I'll let her do it. But if she could ever be my valet, that would be nice. But even then, when she's not my valet, I make it known to the crowd that I have someone in the crowd watching me, because there's a couple times where I'll be working, and after either a win or it's definitely after a win, or when I walk out and the camera's following me, I'll make it stop. I'll whether she's in the back row of the crowd or not, I don't care. I'll point to her, I'll tell her to come here, and I'll give her a kiss before I even do whatever I do. So I make it known that I have a girlfriend. I make it known that she's in my life. But I don't see her becoming a valet. But if she wants to, I'm not against it, and that would even be even way more fun to have her as my valet. But in either way, I love her to death.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But I can understand. And plus, anxiety and stuff like mental
Yes,
health
sir.
is first. So
Yes, sir. Of course.
of course, I know I was talking that with somebody the other day about mental health comes first. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
100%.
Where people can find you at?
Okay. You can find me on YouTube. I have my own channel where you can watch all my matches that I posted up. I have Instagram. I have Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I have Twitter. I have Facebook. Um, TikTok. I don't really. I need. I should post a lot on TikTok or make
Yeah,
videos, but
same here. Same here.
man, it's just I see all these people do it. And I'm like, why don't you just do it for me? I can't. I don't know how to make a TikTok. It makes me mad because you got to do all these stuff. You got to go through CapCut and all this, and it's like
Yeah.
I ain't got time for all that. But I'll just post a promo myself and just upload my match or something. That's fine. But on Facebook, I am Hunter Hendrix. On Instagram, it is official Hunter Hendrix. TikTok, it is official Hunter Hendrix, and on Twitter, it is Hunter underscore Hendrix one. I don't post much on Twitter or TikTok, but I am more active on Facebook. I post once in a while. I need to post more on Instagram, a lot more too. But I am mainly active on the apps that are connected to each other, which is Facebook and Instagram. So once again, find me on Facebook, Hunter Hendrix. Find me on Instagram, official Hunter Hendrix. And my YouTube channel, just type in official Hunter Hendrix. And if you want, I can send you the link to my YouTube channel or whatever you want, and you could feel free to put them in your stream and whatnot. But official Hunter Hendrix on YouTube. All my matches are there. Please check them out. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it around. Share it to your mom. Share it to your sister. Share it to your grandma. Share it to your friends. Share it to your teacher. I don't care. But Facebook again, Hunter Hendrix. Instagram, official Hunter Hendrix. YouTube, official Hunter Hendrix. And my
Like this,
email is officialhunterhendrix@gmail.com. So you promoters who watch this, if you want to make some money, please email me.
I was just about to ask about that. Like, what would you have to say to the promoters that could be watching this? Like, what would you say to them?
What I could say to them is, well, here's the thing. I believe if you book me for your show, I will give you every bit of your money's worth. I will show you that on your roster, whether it doesn't matter who it is, I will bring a certain aspect to your show. I bring the three words I hold dearly: wealth, class, and prestige to your show. I will go out there, I will shine brighter than anybody there, whether there's 5 people in your crowd, whether it's just 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, all the way up to 100. It doesn't matter how many people in your show. I guarantee you by the end of the night, I can have them all invested in me and show them what I can do, because my slogan is simple. It's like this: it's all prodigy, no apology.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yes, sir.
I like that. And,
Little self advertising right there.
that was a good one. I had to, yep, had me speechless right now. That's pretty good. Um, but I appreciate you being on here and thank you for the time and it's been fun.
Once again, brother, thank you very much for reaching out to me. Thank you very much for setting it for in advance for the future, so I can have time to prepare for it. Once again, I'm sorry for starting late. I did not want to come
It
on
was
here.
okay.
I did not want to come on here looking raggedy like I just woke up from a slumber. So I seen it. I was like, you know what? Let's do the damn thing. Let's get this on the way. And I'm very happy to this conversation that we had. This was the first time we fully met face to
Yeah.
face, pretty much, and I enjoyed our conversation. I enjoyed talking wrestling with you. I enjoyed discussing my goals and everything with you. And you have been such a great host. Letting me talk, not talking over me. I love people who actually invest in the person who's on their show, letting them talk and not talking over. And you asked wonderful questions. And like I said, you asked a new question that I haven't been asked yet. And you took the time to let me answer, explain my story. And for that, I thank you very much, sir.
No problem, because like this is all about like the people just telling their story. So that's what this is all about.
Yes, sir.
So, like I said, I appreciate it, man. Hunter Hendrix.
Yes,
We'll probably
sir.
will do this again pretty soon, and I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it. And thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem. That is Hunter Hendrix, ladies and gentlemen. Might as well say he's like an up and comer, but doing good so far. So can't complain about that. Um, for those who's watching it live, this will be on. Let's see, it's like almost 4:30. So I'm gonna try to put it on here right in time at 5 o'clock today. So watch out for that. And this will be on Spotify as well. So look for Wrestling Fans Speak Out of Spotify. And this will, be on the YouTube channel besides, this one. So let me do a couple of shout outs before we, end this. And there's people like I wave, but I didn't like say hi to. So Priestley Hayes, hello. AH, hello yourself. Prissy did subscribe, so I appreciate it. So thank you. Playing with my friends. Oh, playing games with my friends. I'm sorry. So hello to you. Freddie Cole, hello. And like I said, I apologize if I didn't respond to you guys because normally, around this time, the end of the show, I'll like do shout outs like that. So, if you're on here live, like on Twitch and YouTube, I will do a shout out. So, hang in there for the whole show and just like, you want to get your name shout out. So thank you. So I appreciate everybody did subscribe today. And I do appreciate the likes that I got for you guys live on YouTube. So thank you for that. Like I said, once again, this video will be up probably within the next half hour. Which would be, today's date, March 3rd. So that, and I think I got one more interview at 6 o'clock Central. So another one should be interesting and should be a good one as well. Um, after you guys that's watching through Twitch, either WFSO or WFSO2, I appreciate it. Keep on following us. We at least will have live content at least every day, almost every day, I should say. Um, so please share the channel. Like content like this be the channel for you. Same thing for you guys on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. I did get the chance to do the 500 subscriber video, so I apologize. I'm probably gonna do something with it. Maybe sometime after Raw, just talk about the 500 subscribers and stuff like that. And I know we're still growing because the main target is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully we can get there by the end of the year. So appreciate it. And plus, those who's listening on Spotify, please support us on here. Um, we'll try to we'll try to put more content on there. So, give us a little bit of time for that. Like I said, this will be on Spotify and also like on YouTube too. So sometime within, the next half hour. So just be patient with that. But also check out the website, wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. Um, we do have a Wrestle Talk page, with like past interviews. So you can check them out. And this one will be up there today as well. So you get a chance, check them out. And plus we does like online interviews as well. We did it for one of our sponsors, Mike Thompson. Did an interview with him, the Wisconsin legend himself. And also, it was a few interviews we did, like people that are from Wisconsin. We did like a kind of like an online interview. Not like this, but just like I send them questions and they just answer. So that's basically what it is. Okay, let me get out of here. And I know I got to set up for, my 6 o'clock interview. Hopefully the guy's available, and let me get out of here and I can rest these phones up and do a couple errands. Thank you guys once again, and I appreciate it so much that you guys are watching. Especially, nearly 2 years ago, since I started doing live stuff, you guys had answered and also watch every live that I do and also videos that I have done. So I really appreciate it, and thanks to you guys, I guess it was like one of those times, I was about to like no, not do like YouTube anymore. Then suddenly when I started doing it live, you guys showed up. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So, but then again, I know I'm gonna keep running on, but like I said, that 500 subscriber video will be out sometime today. And once again, I appreciate you guys. Until the next video, you guys have a good one. So see you later.